See you sucker soon on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what a day.
Welcome to Capital Region Today. I'm so happy that you're joining us today. We have a great lineup and a packed show. This time we're having 6 segments, so it's a really packed show, but we've got a lot of information that we want to get out to you. We're going to be starting out with the Schuylerville Community Theater, and they're doing Cinderella. After that, we'll be talking with Circles of Mercy, and they're doing Irish Night. Who doesn't love an Irish night? And then the Bunbury Players are here, and they're going to be talking about their the effect of the gamma. Well, you know, we had the eclipse. Now we're having the effect of the gamma rays on the Man in the Moon miracles. But anyway, after that, we're going to be talking with the Octavo Singers, and they're doing Elijah. And that's Mendelssohn's. And then we'll be talking with Jaja's Kids, and that's in Uganda. So you'll find out what they're doing, and they do have a fundraiser coming up. And then Homemade Theater is on. We got lots of theater today. And we'll be talking about the humans. So this is really a great day, and I'm always happy to have so many wonderful guests on my show. We're going to be starting out with Schuylerville right now, and they're doing Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. Take it away. How's that? Thank you all for being here. And we have the director with us, so let's chat with the director here.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's so nice to see you, Jonathan.
Yes, so we are doing Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella. We're doing it in Schuylerville at the high school the last weekend in April. And it's the classic Cinderella story set to music by the incomparable Rodgers and Hammerstein. So.
Yeah, and the Cinderella, by the way, is the one that was up at the Gaslight Village, or was it up in
Great Escape?
Great Escape. That was
Yes.
it. What did I say?
Yep.
Gaslight
Yes,
Village.
our Cinderella.
Yeah,
is
and
Sarah
so she
Courts.
knows the part very well.
Yes,
So,
she is the quintessential Cinderella.
yeah, she's a
wonderful.
perfect Cinderella, actually.
She's perfect.
So let's talk about the fairy godmother.
Okay.
Okay, fairy
No problem.
godmother.
So yeah, I play the fairy godmother. I'm actually, this is my second time playing the role.
Oh, really?
I played
How
the fairy
fun.
godmother when I was in high school, and I get to do it again. My take is a little different this time. I play her a little wacky, but you know, lovable
Why
at
not?
the same
Why
time.
not?
Why not, right? She's magical, so I'm playing her magical, but I'm having a great time. And again, the girl who's playing Cinderella and playing opposite of
She's
her
amazing.
is wonderful. She's an
Yeah.
incredible actress. So.
Yeah, and how long have you been acting? Since
So-
you said high school,
Well,
I'm
since
assuming
high
it's-
school, but I've
yeah.
only been back in the scene now for about 2 to 3 years. So this is maybe, I don't know, my 5th or 6th show. So I'm really excited though. I love the type of part where you can kind of come out and you have your big number, and then you get to just kind of
Go off to the side.
and let everybody else have their moments. So
Yeah. I know you've been on the show before, Helen, right?
Yeah, I was on
so I
for-
know that you've been in-
for Rabbit Hole with the Bunbury
Yeah.
Players, who's actually here as well. But,
yeah, exactly.
yeah. But I'm very excited about it.
But now, next to you, you have Prince Charming.
Prince Charming.
How charming are you, Mr. Prince?
As charming as I can be.
Okay, Brian, tell me a little bit about your part.
Well, this is actually the second time I get to play Prince, but the first time I played it was actually in a production of Into the Woods.
Oh,
So
well,
I played-
that was the same, yeah.
Yeah, well, I technically played...
That was Sondheim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was basically the jerk Prince.
Yeah. Oh, he was.
And
Okay.
this time I get to play the good one. So
Okay,
very
good.
happy about that.
That's good. And so you like the part.
I love the part.
Yeah. So let's talk to Jonathan now. Jonathan, how big is your cast?
I believe we are right at 20.
Really? Oh,
just
so you
under
have a little
20?
choreography involved too.
Oh yes, we have a brilliant choreographer. Her name is Susie Thomas. She lives in Washington County. She's a fantastic choreographer. And together we don't really have a whole lot of big dancing numbers, but the dancing numbers that we have choreographed within an inch of its life. So.
Well, you have the ball, so you have to
Yes.
do a little something there.
Yes, the ball is an entire act. It's a 3-act show, and Act 2 is the
the ball.
entire ballroom scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, tell me, where did you get the glass slipper?
The glass slipper came with Cinderella. She brought it with her.
Oh, really?
Yes, she brought several glass slippers and had me.
I
try
thought
them
you were going
on,
to say
and-
we just kind of sprayed them to make them look
Oh
like
no.
glass.
no! She brought her own. Yeah, so she was ready.
Yeah. So now this is going to be at the high school, is that correct? Or,
Yes.
Well, it just said the Schuylerville Central School Auditorium. So
Yes.
is that the high school?
It's at the high school building.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're doing it for one weekend, is that correct?
One weekend, the last weekend in April, there are 4 shows. There's a Friday night, a Saturday matinee, a Saturday evening, and a Sunday matinee.
Okay. And how much are the tickets?
I believe they are $22 for adults and $20 for seniors and college students, and then children under the age of 10, I believe, are $10.
Yeah,
Don't quote me on that.
well, and it's affordable for the whole family to come.
Yes, of course,
and
yes.
enjoy an evening or an afternoon of great music. Rodgers and Hammerstein, who does
Yes.
this? So everybody sings in it. Is that it?
Oh yes, no, it's a very big musical show.
Okay.
Everyone's the entire cast gets in on the singing. So
Wow, this
Yes.
is wonderful. Yeah. So who are the ugly stepsisters?
we have a
Well, they don't have to be ugly.
They're
I'm just
beautiful
saying that
women.
We always think of them as those
Yes.
nasty.
They're beautiful
we
women,
have
as
a-
is the stepmother.
yes.
But
we have an incomparable set of trio of women who are the stepmother and the stepsisters. Donna Dodd Thomas, who has done a lot of things in Schuylerville at the community theater, is playing our stepmother, and then we have Lauren Risley, who is playing Joy, and Katie Hawksby is playing Portia, and those 3 together make up what I like to call our comic relief.
Yeah. Well, you need a little, negativity to make it look good when it happens, right?
They are unmatched.
Okay. Now we won't spoil it for anyone, but how do you go from rags to riches in your outfit?
oh, you're going to have to come see the show to figure
Exactly.
that
I think
one
so.
out. I can't give away the
There's
magic.
a lot of theater magic happening right now.
I
so.
know, because when I saw the play, I've seen Cinderella on stage before. It was like she turns around and all of a sudden she looks fabulous.
Yes,
And that's the plan. But
yes. That's
I mean,
the
a little fairy godmother magic. It's not
Yes.
impossible.
No,
A little
no.
party,
I'm
ha,
going to
ha,
take
ha.
you home because I need a little magic at home with my outfit. Good. So we want to encourage people. Now, you're in Schuylerville, and what's the best way to get to Schuylerville from, say, the Capital Region?
Oh, that's a. Let me think
88?
about this. 87 north to exit
14.
14.
Okay.
Yes, that's probably the best way.
80, did I say 80? I meant
Yeah,
87. I'm
87
sorry.
north, exit 14. That takes you to Stillwater, Schuylerville, and yeah, it's
So
right
it's just
in-
marked. And then,
Yeah.
and where's the high school? Is that right on the main road?
It's right off the main road. There's a very large 4-way stop there. It's just before the 4-way stop.
Okay, so that you can see, and there's plenty of parking, I'm sure, at the school.
Oh yes,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
a big school parking lot. Plenty of parking.
So this is a great opportunity to bring your family to enjoy a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical, and I know this is going to be a great production. And if you go, just go to see how she transforms from rags to riches and see the wacky godmother here.
It's perfect for kids. It really
really
is.
is.
Perfect for kids.
It's wonderful watching the scenes go from the stepsisters and the stepmother to our lovely Prince and Cinderella. It really is just a wonderful flowing show.
That's great. So thank you all for being here and break a leg.
Thank you
Thank
for having
you.
us.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I'm going to switch over to an Irish night. Why not, right?
Yes.
Circles of Mercy has been doing some great work with VITA program. You do a lot of work with the, I want to say, I hate to use the word unfortunate, but people that are in need. We'll put it that way.
Disenfranchised.
Yes, I like that, disenfranchised. So you're raising some money for Circles of Mercy to continue with your mission.
That's right. Amy.
So tell me about
Yeah.
it.
Well, like most nonprofits, they do some sort of fundraising. For us, we have 3 fundraising events that we do each year. The one that's coming up now is a tradition that's been going on with the organization since it got established.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah, 1997, same year that you guys started.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
an
I
Irish.
did say it was a long time
Yeah,
ago.
it's an Irish night celebration. The group that's providing the music is called Good Times, and it's a group of people who had previously performed with Frank Jackledge, who unfortunately passed away. So what we try to do is, in his memory, we kind of do this fundraising event for Circles.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah. And
I think we had the flyer too that we can put up.
So most of the musicians in the group had played with Frank, and they continue his song style. He was known as the Song Man. So the event is coming up on Saturday, April the 20th. We're going to hold it at the Hibernian Hall in Albany.
Perfect place. There's your flyer right there. We have it up right now.
You can't go wrong. It's a nice big room, plenty of parking. We provide snacks, that kind of stuff. Then there's adult.
Not a meal.
No, there'll be sandwiches available, and there's also adult beverages that will be also available. And we do a 50-50 raffle. There's door prizes. For everybody coming in with a paid admission, they get a raffle ticket. They get a ticket, and then there'll be prize raffle gift baskets that can. Was that like they bid on them? Yeah. Well, it's not like a silent auction. It's you buy so many. You buy your tickets and you put it in a bucket. Right. Yeah, got it. So if you want something really bad, you throw all your tickets. That's what I do. Yeah, I do the same thing. So that's the gist of the event. As most nonprofits, we have limited sources of revenue, income, right? So fundraising certainly is one. Grants, donations, and we're fortunate enough to have a thrift store as part of our operation. I like that. So the thrift store is open to the public? Yes, absolutely. We have people that come and shop in there from all over. There's nothing in there. Winter coat's $5. Everything else is $1, give or take. So there's revenue that's generated through the thrift store. We call it Catherine's Closet, named after the founder of the Sisters of Mercy, Catherine McCauley. Oh, okay. So we generate. We took a big hit with COVID, like everybody else. Oh, everybody did. And we're slowly building it back up, and it provides revenue that covers the rent to utilities, and then there's additional funds that we put into the programs and services that we provide at Circles of Mercy. So it's we try to use those 4 areas, balance it out so that if one does really bad during the course of the year, which happened last year, the other 3 hopefully will be able to carry it. And then we do have some savings. Fortunately, we haven't had to tap into that yet, but we're holding our own. And you work mainly with volunteers, is that correct? Yes, I'm the only full-time person. Okay, and somebody has to be in charge. Yeah, well, my philosophy is servant leadership. It's me helping them, and we let them, the volunteers, run the organization, run the programs and the services. So on an average, we have about 100 volunteers. That's a lot. Big chunk of my time is volunteer recruitment and retention. So you're putting a call out if someone would like to volunteer? We'd love to have anybody. We're just finishing up. If they volunteer, what are they doing? Well, as you know, we do tax programs. So that's we're just beginning to wind down from that. So if somebody has an accounting background or they're good with numbers, we can train them and they can take the IRS exams and get certified as a tax preparer. The other program that we do every day is the thrift store. It's staffed by women from the local community and churches and parishes. There's between. And do people make donations to do they bring like a bag of clothing? Oh, yes, yeah, absolutely. So they could even donate? They can donate clothing as long as it's gently used and recently cleaned. We'd love to have it. In fact, we just switched over the inventory from fall and winter to spring and summer. Right. So this is a big. Do you have children's clothing there? Yes, absolutely. We got children's clothing, the blue jeans. We got a houseware section. Where dishes. So you have quite a bit. It's a store. and we try to keep it. Our reputation in the community is very good. They love to come, socialize.
I love thrift stores.
Yeah.
I really do. I really enjoy them
Yeah,
because you find things
You'd be
that,
impressed. You got to
that
stop by.
sometimes they're like things from years back that you go, oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
remember my mother had one just like that. I think I'll get it.
All those types of things. The other thing that we do is a donation of wedding gowns or bridesmaid gowns or other prom gowns.
Oh, that's nice.
So,
For the spring prom.
right. So we put that all together to give to the high school. A lot of people don't realize that in the city of Rensselaer, 65% of the students attending school qualify for free or reduced lunch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one out of every.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive
Yeah.
going to college.
Yeah, so it's the rate of poverty is slightly higher than the statewide average. So there's a need, and we try to meet those needs. And the bottom line is, if it's a need that we don't provide, I know who in the community does provide it.
So you're kind of conduit for
Right,
that.
we make the connection.
Yeah.
So that's what
Well,
we
your
do.
tax program has been so
Oh,
successful
very,
for so
very
many
much
years.
so.
How many people have you served so far this year, or did you keep a track?
Oh,
yet?
we keep track. The system tracks it. I just saw a report the other day from the IRS that I think we were close to like 225.
Oh, that's quite a few.
Yeah, and then we got a big rush now towards
Of
the
course,
end of the
yeah,
season.
everybody at the last minute.
Yeah, and in fact,
Don't forget the 15th.
Right. In fact, we had representatives from the IRS that stopped in to visit last week to see our program and asked
They
us.
oversee it in a
Yeah,
way. Yeah.
and they were interested in if there was any problems or any solutions
Glitches, yeah.
that we could provide.
Well, the fact is, it's just so much simpler now. You
Yeah.
know, you just bring your things and make sure you know what papers to bring. Are you still accepting people up to the
Well,
50? Because right now it seems to me
Yeah.
you're going to get a real rush.
we have 1 day left and it's totally booked.
Yeah, I figured.
So right now we don't. I would encourage people, if they still need to file, to they can call us. I can give them a URL and they can prepare the return themselves
Oh, good.
for
yeah.
free. Or
They do the
di-
My Free Taxes? Is
Well,
that
that's
it?
a different thing.
Oh, that's the other.
But I mean, that's another option. The third option is to dial 211 and find out who is still doing
Available.
right, still doing taxes.
Do it early. Do it early. I did mine online, and I think within 7 days I got my refund for both my federal and state. The
Right.
same.
And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. The other thing that's coming out from the IRS is what they call direct file.
Yeah.
Anybody can sit down.
I
go
like
on-
that.
yeah.
That's a new one.
Yeah, go online with the IRS, you do your return, and do your state return, and boom,
Bam, you're done.
it's
We're
done.
trying to make it easy. So,
Yeah.
but right now we want to tell you, if you want a great night of a fabulous night of fun and music, because I know Michael Eck is part of this, and Michael has been a friend of mine for a while, and he's
Yeah.
just such
He
a
is
fabulous.
such a talented gentleman.
Yeah.
And I mean, when they get together, there's a vibe in the room, and everybody's singing. You got people standing up and dancing. Sometimes there are guest performers that pop in that want
To help out.
To help out.
Yeah,
So it's
to
just
raise a
great
little
night.
money.
Yep.
Raise a little
so
money.
just remember, it's Irish Night, April the 20th.
April the 20th
6
at
to
the
9
Hibernian.
At the Hibernian Hall on Ontario Street in Albany.
Yeah, and you're bound to hear of some Irish music even.
So if they're interested, have them call me at Circles 518-462-0899.
Okay, good. And you can go online to circlesofmercy.org.
Or, yes,
And you
thanks,
can
Ann.
find out how to get those tickets. Thank you so much,
You're
Richard,
welcome,
for
Ann.
being here.
Pleasure
and
to be here.
It's always great to see you.
Thanks again.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Good. We're going to be switching over to the Bunbury Players. Yay! Hi. And you're doing that title. Honestly, it's like I'm typing it. The gamma rays. Wait a minute. The effect of the gamma rays on the moon, man in the moon, miracle. And what is going on?
I think one of the New York Times reviews when it first, came out was the longest title.
I think it is the
Most
longest
awkward,
title.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell me about it. What's it about?
Well,
After the eclipse, we got the man in the moon here, so
Right.
let's go.
Gamma rays.
right, and it does have a kind of cosmic framework, so I guess it's a good comparison.
Great.
It's a play written by Paul Zendel. Was the first play he wrote, and it
Oh,
won
it's the
Pulitzer.
first play he wrote, and it's very popular.
And it won the Pulitzer Prize
Right.
in
Isn't that nice? The
1971.
first play you write?
Right, and he was a high school science teacher, but the play is really autobiographical.
Oh, really? Okay.
Much of it derived from his own childhood and dysfunctional mother.
Oh,
Hey.
oh, are you the mom? Okay. Let's see now. And we have first of all, we have the director, of course, Maureen. And then Deb, you're the mom?
Mom,
Beatrice?
Beatrice Hansdorfer. I think one of the great American roles of all time. I mean, she's so chewy. So the play is basically the story of Beatrice and her two children. My daughter, Matilda, has a science fair where she has been asked to grow man-in-the-moon marigolds that have been exposed.
To gamma rays.
gamma rays.
There we go.
I am also gamma rays, right? I also represent the gamma rays of the play, shooting toxic energy into the air, and to see what light and beauty can grow from the toxicity of the gamma rays.
Okay, and how did you prepare for that part?
Oh my gosh. 50 years of abuse. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think so.
I'm kidding. So it's an extraordinarily difficult part, and she's very wordy. She says every thought that comes into her head.
I know people like that.
Right?
She's very real.
It's like,
She's
no,
very
no.
real.
She's very real, and she had a very difficult childhood. I'm mostly focused on what creates the villain, right? We focus when we see the play.
Do you see the mom as a villain?
I don't, but I would say that you probably, as the viewer, would.
Okay.
I like to see what created her, right? Her mother died young, her father died young also, her husband died and left her with two children in this, a period where women did not have the opportunities to own property,
Right,
have
yeah.
credit, and
Oh, yeah, let's
necessarily
talk
open
about credit
businesses.
cards, yeah.
Beatrice's greatest dream at this point in her life is to open a tea shop, right? Because that was one of the ways that
So
women...
she had a role that she wanted to forward.
She wanted to be a dancer, she was a creative, and she found herself, locked into a situation that she really can't handle.
Right.
But she has this amazing two children and this beautiful young daughter who is a scientist, and she's just interested in the stars and the cosmos. And to see through these marigolds as she's growing them, what hope she's able to create from no matter what sort of
I
circumstances.
want to see this play. It sounds really good. Yeah, it sounds good,
I
yeah.
think it's really one of
Maureen,
the
how big is your cast?
It's a cast of 5. It's an all-woman cast.
Oh, an all-woman,
and
okay.
There are 2 adults and 3 children, 3 teenagers in the play. The daughters that Deb's referencing, Tilly, who is the would-be scientist, who's influenced by a different gamma ray to a teacher who reaches out to her.
Oh, okay.
And Paul Zendel went on to become a novelist of a lot of teen novels, and he was very, very interested in the kid who was the misfit or felt alone in the world. And I think as a playwright and as a teacher, he really wanted to figure out how he could be gamma rays too. And so
I love
this
the
child,
premise.
Yeah, this child is really influenced by a teacher who lets her see that she's part of a glorious universe, even though her mother is just trying to claw her way out of the hole that she's kind of found herself in, or as she says, the mud pool, the mud pit that she's found herself in.
So the kids have to really survive the mother's anxieties. I would say maybe...
And alcoholism.
Oh.
So yeah, there are many
Missed that
people.
one. I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, no, there are many people who find the play to be very, very dark, but it's always appealed to me because it really so powerfully communicates the fact that even in the darkest of situations, the possibility of thriving and growing and, seeing yourself as powerful within the universe is there.
Does
was
it
a
have a
real
happy ending? That's what I want to know.
It does.
Well, I think it has a hopeful ending.
A hopeful. I like even hopeful better than
Yes,
happy sometimes.
yeah, and I think that one of the challenges we've set ourselves as we've been working on this is that Beatrice could be seen as a villain,
A monster, really.
a monster. Really, could be seen as a monstrous mother.
You mean towards her kids
Towards
or
her kids.
towards herself?
And towards herself. I mean, she's agoraphobic. You know, she's trapped. She's trapped.
Well, she lost her mother. She lost her father.
and
she lost her
that's-
husband, and now she's got
exactly.
these kids.
And that's what we're trying to do, is try to, hopefully the audience will leave with a sense of sympathy for her also, and happy that, in fact, there is a hopeful ending.
Yeah. Now, so where are you performing this?
This is going to be at the Albany Barn.
Okay, and that's a great. Are you doing this on the stage or in the circle?
Well, that's very interesting. It'll be a combination because there's a science fair that needs to happen on the stage,
Okay.
and that will be on the stage. But we're doing it on the floor, and we're trying to make sure the audience is practically sitting right in Beatrice's kitchen.
Well, I attended at the Albany Barn a play there, and it was done on the floor, and it was like you felt that you were in the play almost. I mean, you weren't, exposing yourself to have to act, but
Right.
the point is you felt that you were there.
And that's exactly what we want to do. So we want this to be an intimate experience. And
So is it basically a kitchen that?
it's Beatrice's catch-all room, I guess.
So it's kind of interesting the way you can lay things out to make it look like a kitchen.
Well, in fact, her dad was a vegetable vendor, and so she has ended up living in what had been the vegetable vendor
Storage,
store.
kind of, yeah.
So all of the remnants of that will
Oh, how
surround the
cool.
audience. They have
Who's doing the set?
Steve Segura.
Okay.
Yeah, he's the first time he's worked with
Yeah, I like
Bunbury.
to always give a little credit to
Yeah.
people that do. Because, you go to a play and you see the play and you see the actors, but there's a lot that goes, there's the lighting and the sound, and there's so much that goes into productions. It's not just the act, not that I diminish the actors, believe me, but the point is that there's a lot behind any production.
This is a huge group effort.
It
for
is,
sure.
and I was really excited that Steve, saw the vision and was willing to play with it and really enhance it.
Has it been an easy process for you, or has it been challenging?
Well, I think because, as Deb said, Beatrice the play in many ways is a long, once in a while interrupted monologue of a woman, who just goes from one thing to another. So there's a lot of challenge, and I do think the challenge of humanizing her, because she does say outrageous things to her kids, and she does some outrageous things.
The challenge for me was finding the love,
Yeah, that's
Where's
it,
the
exactly.
Yeah.
right? Because otherwise there's no...
Yeah,
Exactly.
Well, it's an interpretation that you have the words on paper.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
But where do you go from there? Because then that's what the director and the actor come together with. Yeah. So we need to talk about the dates, and I think the dates are the 25th through the May 4th, right?
That's right.
2 weekends?
Yes.
Okay, and that is at the Albany Barn, and there's not a parking lot, but there's plenty of parking on street
Parking, yes.
Yeah, because I didn't have any trouble parking on it, and it's well lit, so it's not an issue.
And Bunbury has grown with the philosophy that everyone should be able to come to theater, and so there's no ticket price. Donations.
Pay what you will.
Yeah, and donations are accepted and suggested.
And please donate, because
Yes.
like I say, there's a lot that goes into a production, and they got to buy their sound equipment, they got to buy their lighting, or whether they're using it, or whatever. Lots goes into production, so please be generous when you go there.
Yeah.
Break a leg.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good. Elijah. Oh, hi. It's good to see you guys. Yes, we're talking with Octavo Singers today, and they're doing Elijah. And you've been busy, haven't you, Diane and Andrew?
Oh, yeah.
We really have.
You got a lot going on.
Yeah.
I went to your webpage and was like, whoa, what are they doing?
That's right.
That's right. Just off of our annual spring fundraiser.
I know that, yeah.
Coming in with a whirlwind to the end of our season here.
And how's your attendance been? I know that after COVID, you had to start building again, and it's been doing well. I think you have a big group now.
Very well.
We're going to be on the order of 75, 80 for this performance, and we find that the audiences are there.
Oh yeah.
And you're doing this at St. John the Evangelist. That was when I was a kid. That was the church that my family went to.
Yeah.
It's a magnificent
Yeah.
building.
We are so thankful to Father Carlino
Yeah.
for allowing us to be in that beautiful, beautiful space. In fact, the photographer who's going to take some pictures, I sent him.
You're
some
going to be on
snaps.
in the front area, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We will
Okay.
be around. The small altar will be gone, and we'll be around the main altar.
The main altar. Okay.
And
Good.
orchestra on floor, and unlike so many churches,
The acoustics are
dedicated
very
to
good there.
1899, it's an amphitheater.
Yeah.
So, it is actually perfect for concert making.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited to get in that
Have
space.
you been there before?
I have
You
not
haven't, but
conducted anything. I've been to the church before.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a large room for
It's very large.
a large group doing a large work.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And
We've
a
got-
large audience, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
yes.
Oh yeah.
We certainly will hope so.
We've got about 80 singers. We've also got about a 30-piece orchestra for this concert.
So where do you get your orchestra? Is it a specific orchestra, or do you just bring a lot of people together and
Well,
jam?
We really, it really is that. We love bringing in all of the talent of the Capital Region. A lot of players from Schenectady Symphony, Albany Symphony, Capital Region Wind Ensemble.
Okay, there you go.
A lot of great teacher performers from various local school districts.
That's wonderful.
Really bringing
You're a
a lot of folks
showcase,
together.
aren't you?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And our soloists as well.
Who's the,
there's
you have who's the soloist?
So the solo quartet for this work is star-studded. We have two local artists, Casey Gray and Carla Fisk, both Saratoga, mostly Schenectady, Saratoga performers.
Very well.
I mean, Casey and I, we've done stuff going years back now. I love singing with him, conducting him, all sorts of stuff.
You sound happy.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm very excited.
Yes, he does.
Then returning for her second performance with us is Addie Rose Brown, who sang our Brahms Requiem concert last year as a soprano. Interestingly, is coming back as a mezzo, having
Can you do that?
having over the past year changed sort of the trajectory role of the voice solos that she's
really?
been singing
Okay.
and doing a fabulous job.
Wow.
Really lucky to have her back. And then the title role, Elijah, will be sung by Jamal Sarikoki, who was actually in the same graduate program as me at Bard. That's where we met. A longtime friend, a deeply talented musician. He's coming by way of Sarasota Opera, Colorado Springs
Wow,
Opera
so
scene.
then, yeah, lots of experience.
Powerful voice, and we're very, very glad to have him with us as the role of Elijah.
Do you use microphones, or is this just
No.
going to be voice?
No, and so this oratorio, like Handel's Messiah, you want to think of it as basically a concert opera, and even more so than Handel or Bach or any of the sort of Baroque oratorios that Mendelssohn is modeling this after. Very dramatic, very romantic. You really could see sequences of this, scenes, episodes of this work being staged.
Are they
Calling down.
costume? Do they costume, or just they're just
No,
wearing,
no, but
I'm just trying to envision this. That's all.
it has been sort of pushed to that limit in some performances of it, but you can really feel the emotional drama at work.
I think what adds to it, unlike a lot of oratorios where the soloists also sometimes, but certainly the chorus is commenting as third person what's happening. In this case, we are the people. We are the Israelites, or we are the pagans. We're Ahab and Jezebel and Elijah, of course. So our lyrics and our music are actually playing the roles.
That's right.
Oh,
So,
that's interesting. Yeah.
I mean, if we had two heads, we could wear two hats, but we don't.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So this is a big production.
Absolutely.
So an hour, 2 hours?
This is about an hour. This is about 2 hours, including intermission.
Okay.
and the narrative has many wonderful and varied scenes in them. You have this backdrop of the plague of drought and this constant pleading from Elijah and all of the people that the chorus represents for rain. You have this episode with the encounter of priests of Baal who have turned against the God of Jehovah. And then you have these characters of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel and their revenge towards the prophet Elijah. Powerful characters and equally powerful music.
Is this done in English?
This story. Yes, in English.
So everybody will understand
Oh yes.
it.
Oh yes.
There won't be any little thing going across the top.
No, not at all. Though interestingly, the piece was composed in English and German simultaneously. Mendelssohn was a complete prodigy. He knew 5 or 6 languages by the time he was 10. Was just as good, reportedly, just as good a child pianist as Mozart. Grew up playing
I didn't realize Mendelssohn. Okay, good.
Bach and all of this great music, surrounded by like the most Enlightenment type people in Germany, and that really shows in his music. It's very thoughtfully crafted. The emotional weight is not only intense and dramatic, but very compelling. The way he's crafted his version of this story.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's kind of hard to believe that we didn't have like popular music back then. This was the music.
This was an immediate success.
Yeah.
Premiered in England, went on tour thereafter. Mendelssohn actually died less than a year after this piece was premiered. This is one of his last finished works. He died in his 30s.
Well, he's an amazing composer.
Absolutely, and his output for how short of a life he had, his output is enormous. Right up there with Schubert and Mozart.
He
as
died
far
in
as
his 40s?
30s.
30?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you think, like, how?
I thought this man would be 60s writing all
and
this.
had he lived that long, he would have been contemporaries with Brahms and all of the late romantics.
Yeah.
But
What
he
did
put
he
all
die
of this
of? Just
music out, like anxiety, like 19th century verklempt. Yeah, he was just one of these, like Schubert and like Schumann. He was just one of these.
He was so
absolutely
wrapped up
and suffered from a lot of like lifetime illnesses. Yeah.
Such a sad thing that you're telling me. It's just like
but it's
the talent that was gone.
Absolutely, and you think about it, all of this music he wrote in his teens and 20s.
That's just totally blows my mind.
And there's so much more choral music that he wrote other than Elijah. Elijah is sort of like the pillar of his output, but there are so many other choral works that
you got a lot to work
voices,
with, huh?
Absolutely.
So let's tell people how they can see this and where they can see this. Well, St. John the Evangelist, it's right across from Union College, so it's an easy, and it's got it's a big landmark. There's no question. That's on the 21st, which is a Sunday.
Sunday afternoon.
So it's after all the masses and
That's
everything,
right.
and I hopefully they keep them there for a while so that they can just transition and go in. And what is it? 3:00? I think I wrote down 3 o'clock.
Yep. You can get tickets at the door or at www.octavosingers.org.
Please support them because they do such wonderful works, and we have to keep this music alive, and
absolutely.
you're making it alive, and you're making it relevant.
That's our goal.
Yep.
That's our goal. Thanks
Doing
so much for having us back.
Good job. Thanks,
Thank you.
Diane, and thanks, Andrew. It's always good to see you on the show.
You too.
Good. We're going to switch over, and now we're going to be talking about, is it Jajas or Yayas?
Jaja.
Jajas. I thought I was right, so it was Jajas. Kids, and this is in Uganda, and we've talked before. This isn't, and you brought photographs, so we're definitely going to go through the photographs. But this is an amazing project that, Diane, you kind of, it came to you, right?
I kicked it off, yes.
Yeah. And how long has this been going on?
Well, I first met my counterpart, Ronnie, in 2006. And so we've been working since
Almost
then.
10 years.
Well,
I mean, no.
it's more like
17.
17.
Yeah.
17.
Whoa, wait a
18
minute.
years.
Where am I going with this? Yeah.
Wish it
Not
was-
16, we're talking 6, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's a while.
16 years. And we became an organization in 2008 and started taking children in 2012. So we've had a home for kids ever since 2012.
That's wonderful, yeah. Do you want to jump right into the photos so that we can talk about them as we go?
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
Raymond, perhaps you could bring up the first one. She has those in order, and I hope that I've got them in the order
Well,
you want them.
we can work around it. It's
Yeah, okay. So the first set.
yeah. So Connie and I were in Uganda in December.
Okay, so we're
and-
going to leave these photos up as you talk about
Okay.
them. Okay.
Okay. We were in, and so this is a few group photos. The kids had not. We had not seen the children for 5 years, and they wanted to have a big celebration while we were there. We had a ribbon cutting because we had built a house in
you built a house,
2019.
too. Yeah, wow.
And they waited until we were there to have the ribbon cutting, which was really kind of
Nice.
sweet. So yeah, so that was what was going on then, and the kids at the top are in front of the gate to the house, and below they're preparing matoke, which is dried.
what?
It's matoke. It's a banana.
Oh, okay.
It's like a hard, dry banana that they're peeling it and they're going to cook it, and it becomes this big. They love it. And it's a big
Okay,
staple.
oh, that's
like-
interesting.
it's-
Like a plantain?
It's like a mashed, they mash it up, so it's kind of like mashed potatoes,
But it's a mashed banana.
But it's
Pot-
mashed
pota-
banana.
What is it called?
Matoke.
Matoke. Okay, good. I'll have to look that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then on the right is a picture. We took the kids to the movies. It was the second time they'd ever been to a movie theater.
Oh my goodness! You don't
And-
bring the movie to them. You go take them
Yeah,
out.
we
That's
we
good.
took them out, and to be in a mall, it was just very exciting.
Oh, they have
So
a mall
we-
there? Oh,
Yeah, there's malls. This is so yeah. So it was
What
a
do I
great
know?
visit.
Well, one of the fun things of them being in the theater was it was just us in the theater. There was no one else in the theater. And the kids afterwards,
What was the movie?
it was
The
one of
Marvels.
Oh, the
The
Marvels.
Marvels, the women-focused warriors, you
Okay,
know,
good.
heroes.
And one of the kids, well, a couple of the kids, started to do shadow puppets in front of the screen as the credits are running by.
Oh, my.
You know, and it
How
was
did they
just
even-
so
oh,
much
well,
fun.
it's probably-
And they have a dance movement that they do that's like birds, and it was the most gorgeous shadow on this screen.
Yeah.
And
How
they were
cool
just
is that? What an
having
experience.
fun.
Yeah.
And there were like 22 of us or so in the theater. You know, it's just our group. As Connie said, it was just great fun. It was
what
wonderful.
fun.
So, yeah,
So
yeah.
they're not afraid to
Express.
have fun.
Yeah.
Right.
We need to do more of that, don't we? Yeah.
right.
And what's the second slide there that we have? I think there's 3 pictures on that one. Or yeah, there we go. So tell me
So
what
do you
these
wanna-
are.
So one of the things that we're working on right now is our fundraiser that's coming up.
Right, you have, and we're going to be talking about that.
21st.
Yeah.
And we're focusing on the education of these kids. Education in Uganda is not free. And we are...
Which limits it.
Yeah, and we are to the point now where we have kids that are graduating from high school and then going on to other programs. And we're working very hard to figure out what each of the children's abilities are and feeding them into that.
Okay,
Not
so the
everyone
photos
is
represent-
ready to go
Yeah.
to the university.
Yeah.
So we have the first image on the left is of
Nicholas, yep.
who's a wonderful, wonderful artist. And he's painting a picture there that's going to be for sale at our fundraiser. And he wants to become an interior designer.
Oh, wonderful.
And the one in the middle is Daphne, and she's in her first year in nursing. And
Yeah, I kind of assumed that when I saw her
Yeah,
photo.
yeah.
we did an interview with the 5 kids that are in college and university, and she described her it was her second month
and she was required to go into a hospital, and she had to do a cannulation on a baby. And it was like, I don't know anything. You know, I've only been in this program for 2 months.
And it was her first day at the hospital,
and it was
no
her
less.
first day at the hospital.
So they expected her to know that, or?
Well, she was very smart. She went to someone that she knew had been there more than she had, and said, "I'm new here. I'm first semester. Please help me out." And so they guided her, and they all applauded when she did did it successfully.
Good for her.
And then the one on the far right is Sonia, who is going to law school.
Wonderful.
And it's pretty amazing to hear these kids talk about what they're learning. They go right into their programs when they're in the university. She has 7 law classes, no
liberal arts. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I'm going to ask just a question, because I'm appreciative of everything that you're showing me. What would happen if you were not there to these kids? What would their lives have been like?
They would have not had any dreams at all. They would have been living on the street. Who knows if they
No
would
education.
have survived to the age that they are now.
So what you're doing has impact.
Very much
Absolutely.
so, very much so. And the thing is that over the years we've learned that only 25% of Ugandans ever graduate from primary school.
Primary, we're
From
not talking
primary.
high school, we're talking
Not talking, and it's about the same for high school.
Well, if you're talking about that it's not free, these are not people that are wealthy and have the opportunity to get funding or
Right,
anything. So
right.
this is a big thing if they send their kids to school.
Right,
One
it's
of
very
the-
much so, yeah.
One of the things that we also did while we were there is we interviewed each of the children to get them to describe to us where they were when Ronnie found them, and what their life was like beforehand and what their life is like now in being in Jaja's Kids. And it was amazing to listen to these kids who would sit there and say, well, you know, yeah, I had a mom and a dad, but
They couldn't take
they
care of me,
couldn't
right?
take care of all of us. So we were out selling little things or living on the street.
Yeah, like one of our kids, his parents left him at the door and they never came back. They just dropped him off. And he was on the verge of tears as he described that to us. And it's like, well, that's life. That's
Well, and it
what they
had
have
to be
to
difficult
endure.
for the parents as well, but they were just trying to
Right.
make it somehow, whether
Parents have
for the
been-
rest of the kids or whatever. We don't know what they were going through.
Right.
you
And
know,
parents have been very grateful.
Unfortunately, it was tough on the kids. And I think there's the last slide that we had, Raymond, that kind of talks about the event coming up. And there
right,
we are.
Right. Oh, yeah, the last picture there on the left is Mark, one of our college kids, university, and he's studying engineering.
Uh-huh.
And here he is, first semester, and there he is on the site.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like, I thought he was he was
Right.
the
And
guy.
in fact, I just had to send money for his final exams, his first semester final exams, and they're going to be on the site as well. So,
Right.
right away they're getting, it's so different than the education system here. We're
Absolutely.
just learning all that at this
And
point.
it's
his
I like it.
comment about his schooling, which I thought is just fascinating. He says it's easier than high school because he's
Doing
learning
what he wants.
something that he really wants to learn.
Yeah.
He's wanted to do this for years. He's been so focused to be a civil engineer. It's just,
That's
in his
wonderful.
glory.
Now, you've got a
So the event-
fundraiser, so let's get that in because we're almost out of time here.
So, it is Sunday, April 21st at
Okay.
Revolution Hall in Troy. It's from 2 to 6 p.m. It's going to be a great party. It's just going to be a great party. Ronnie, our counterpart in Uganda,
Is he
the
gonna be
director,
here?
He's going to
Oh,
be
Ronnie
here.
is gonna make it.
Ronnie
Yeah.
Sarayange, he's coming Sunday night, and he'll be here for the event. We're going to have LeGrand Saris, locally known
Yeah, I
as
know who that
the
is, yeah.
auctioneer.
Yeah, he'll do an auction.
He's doing our live auction. We're going to have a silent auction. There's going to be a giving tree. There's a buffet lunch, and lots of things for people to see. We're going to have Connie's wonderful photos
Yeah,
up on
Connie's,
display.
by the way, she's a wonderful world photographer. So good,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
And
So
I shouldn't say hopefully, we will have these kids' interviews, and you will get to meet
each one on film
through the videos that we have.
Good.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what Diane and I both came away from this visit with, is just how sweet and wonderful and appreciative these kids are. And yet, in other ways, how sort of isolated they have been in the setting that they are in.
Absolutely,
And they
yeah.
are learning
They're
now about the world.
They're very fortunate to have had you see the need and to move on it.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for being here, both Connie and Diane. But the important thing is, if you can support them, go to their event coming up on the 21st, which is at Revolution Hall in Troy, a very nice place to have an event, actually. I've been there.
Yes.
And you can get tickets from the website.
Or just make a donation.
Or just make a
Or
donation.
just make a donation. Hey, that sounds like a good idea.
www.jajaskids.org.
Yeah, and we've got that up there. And
Yeah,
of course,
thank you.
check my Facebook page. I have all this information on that. It will go on today sometime. So thank you
And
both.
you'll have fun if you come.
Yes,
It'll be a great
You will
party.
have fun and meet these lovely ladies. Thank you both for being here. And here we are, and we're talking about homemade theater this time. Isn't it fun to talk about all these theaters going on?
It sure is.
Absolutely.
I love all the theater
know,
that
I
happens
love
around
it.
here.
Yeah. So you're doing the humans.
Yeah.
Yes,
Tell me what the humans are about.
sure.
Let me guess. Humans?
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, it's very much about the human experience of going through the heart, the humor, and the horror of a family Thanksgiving.
So it's basically a Thanksgiving that we're going to a nice Thanksgiving meal with the family.
Yeah, it's the Blake family celebrating this Thanksgiving, and it's kind of an unusual Thanksgiving in many ways. It's the daughter has just moved into this apartment in Chinatown that is not furnished because none of their furniture has gotten there, so they're having this very sort of
So
primitive.
she's having the dinner.
Yes, she's hosting the Thanksgiving
Okay.
dinner, and
So the set should be easy.
Well,
not really.
what's interesting about our set is, originally this play, it's described as taking place in a duplex, 2 stories.
Okay.
We're doing over at the D. Sarno Theater at Saratoga Arts.
Yeah, and that's a great space,
There-
yeah.
It's a great space, but not that tall. So we've done something a little bit different with the set. Instead of having it stacked, it's actually the 2 stories are side by side.
Oh, okay. Well, it works.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
That's
just a
that's
little bit
what
of
theater is all about.
Yeah.
Imagination, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Good. And we want the audience to imagine a little bit here. How big is the cast?
There's 6 actors, so you've got the mom and dad of.
You're the director,
Yes,
right?
I'm
You're the director. So
yes.
you got to make sure everything's going well.
Yes. So we've got 6 actors. The mother and father of the clan. The father's mother is there.
How big is the cast?
6.
6. Okay, that's not bad.
No, there are 2 daughters, and then the daughter's boyfriend.
Okay. So they all come together for this meal.
Yes.
And is the play the whole meal? I mean, is the meal the whole play? That's what I want to say.
Actually, consuming the meal is just part of the play. It's interesting because it takes.
Because you have two upstairs and downstairs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it takes place over the course of, in real time, 90 minutes. But what is passed in the context of the play is actually 4 hours.
Oh, okay. All right.
So you see everything from when they first arrive in the afternoon to right up to the leaving.
Now, is the play appropriate for what age groups? Because I always like to ask that. I mean, when we talked about Cinderella, I didn't have to do that.
Probably, older teens might enjoy it too, but probably mainly kind of more adult.
So there's more adult theme to it. Then. Yeah.
An adult theme, and it's also it's a really interesting play in that it doesn't wear its plot on its sleeve in a way. It's not like it's a play that just seems to be at first just like you're witnessing an actual Thanksgiving dinner, an actual family. The language is incredibly realistic. It's one of the things, in fact, that's so difficult about it is that the dialogue is really overlapping. It's one.
I'm not familiar with Stephen
Stephen Karam.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not familiar with him, with his plays. So I guess I need to learn a little bit more about him. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is kind of a little different dialogue than his other plays because it is so, it's different from his other plays and most other plays that I've seen because it is so realistic. It's really like how people speak. You know, he has these sections that are in parentheses of the nonverbal parts that don't actually get said, the way it overlaps.
And really doing something that's that realistic is in many ways much more difficult.
It's much
more difficult to make it look real. It's going to look so spontaneous, hopefully, and realistic and natural. And the amount of work it takes to make the two it's insane. It's much more work, I think, than a more stylized theatrical piece.
Yes. But see, you're in a sense you're not acting. You know what I mean by acting, meaning taking on a new persona, but you're trying to be real, right? Aren't you?
Yeah, real to the point of it kind of being uncanny with how real it is.
Okay. And how did you develop that, Erin? I mean, how did you develop that in your actors?
So I mean, it's just been a lot of like, you know, repetition and kind of going through it. And it's, you know, it's a really interesting piece to work with in that way.
Did you chose it obviously because didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because directors usually choose their piece before they.
Yeah, that was one of the things that drew me into it. Is just that unique style of dialogue, and you know, so much happening, like a conversation happening downstairs at the same time one is downstairs. And the way the lines overlap between the two.
That's so
cool.
That is really cool.
Just amazing the way, you know, things reflect what's happening down here and what's happening up here.
Right.
Yeah, I was saying that like it doesn't, though, like the plot, though, it isn't immediately apparent. Oh, here's the story. It just sort of reveals itself little by little and little through this conversation and the intense things that are going on with this family. Until this whole thing just has.
Is there a conflict? A lot of conflict, or what?
Yeah.
Erin's looking like.
Everybody's got a lot of baggage, and there's a lot of
just like real life.
Yeah. It's a very stoic family, and they're kind of in denial about the amount of baggage and about the amount of anguish they're actually going through, and it's just that slowly kind of building until it just becomes a really, really powerful ending, and it's so. This
sounds really exciting. Now, where is it going to be?
So we're going to be over at the D. Sarno Theater at Saratoga Arts,
right
on Broadway.
Great location, yeah. And what we didn't talk about the dates though.
Sure. So we open April 19th, so not this Friday, but next Friday, and we run for 2 weekends.
Okay, so we've got the dates of April 19th through the 28th. And is there a charge for that?
Yes, $30, and tickets can be purchased either online at our website, homemadetheater.org, or by calling.
You've done some really, Rudy has done some really great productions up there as well.
Absolutely.
Let's see, we've got. I need to tell who's coming on next time. We're going to be talking with an author. And she talks about unmasking motivation. Jo Nicole Prince Home will be here at Musicians of Malwick. Reading is fun, and the Schenectady Civic Players. I love theater. Did you know that? Yeah, might have caught that. So we want to encourage you to go up to Saratoga. Homemade Theater, they've done some wonderful, I think your last production was Peter Pan, and that was a huge success. I know that. So whatever they do is going to be top-notch, and this one is called The Humans. And The Humans is a play that you can kind of sit back and be part of the audience and know that you're part of the dinner, maybe, sort of, or observing it.
Yeah, you'll definitely feel like with how intimate the space is.
Yeah.
That
so did you fix the turkey?
The turkey doesn't actually come
out. Oh, okay.
So
you're not going to get no turkey, no smell of turkey coming up here.
There is real food.
There is real food. Okay, good. Yeah. So you have to do that how many times?
7.
7 times. Okay, good. It might get a little. at the end.
Different foods.
Oh, different foods. Okay, good. How long have you been acting, by the way?
Boy, well, I guess most of my life. So I guess about 50 years.
Really?
I'm
Oh,
63
so you got some
now.
experience here, right?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
The Humans. And be sure to watch our next show. I'm Ann Pearl, your host for Capital Region today, and I'm so glad you joined us. And what great guests I've had all day today. I've just been in my glory. So thank you so much for watching.